morning grade 7s. Please go to your textbooks and open on page 74 and 75. We want to discuss a few terms in drama, literature. Go find them, please. Open your books and then you stay with me as I discuss these terms on page 74 and 75. Now, when you look at any given play or a drama, as we call it, you will see it's just like you writing a dialogue. You have the names of the people who say something, and then the script or the text is the words that they actually say in the play. There are a few important things to remember. The first one of these is the title. When you look at the title of a play or a drama, it tells you about the play itself and what you can expect to happen in the play, which is rather important. Will it be very dramatic? Will it be a comedy? What will it be? The title of the play will give you a fair indication. Now on page 74, activity 4, read a drama, it says, number 1, point to these parts of the play. I want you to look at the play on page 75. You'll see it copied there. You'll see the characters and the words they are saying and all sorts of other information which we will soon discuss. Now, in activity 4, 1a, they say point to the title. So I want you to check the text on page 75 and with your finger point to the title of the play as it's printed there on the page. This might not seem important, but it is. You need to know exactly what it is you are busy with. It's like watching a soapy on television. You need to know which soapy you want to watch. It's the same with a play. The title is important. So you'll find it on top of page 75. It says here, dealing with dumping. Then 1b on page 74, they say look for the name of a character. You'll find quite a few characters on page 75. Please go take a look there right now and find a few of those names with your finger, point at them and read them to your parents, whoever is close. I can read you one that I see immediately. It's Tom Bladla. Another one would be Joe Scorsana. These are the names of the characters in the play. This is important that you understand. Different characters are there for a reason. They are all very different from each other and they all fulfill a specific function. It's important that, for instance, Tom Bladla is very different from Joe Scorsana because they all add up and they contribute to the play. Let's go back to page 74, 1c, a colon. Now you know the colon when you write a normal dialogue. You write those two little dots called a colon. So you have the name of the character, colon, and the dialogue that that person uses. Still activity 4, 1d, words that a character speaks. You'll find the whole page full of words there on page 75 and I suspect on page 76 as well. These are the actual words that these characters would say on stage. Remember, a play or a drama is something that's supposed to be put on a big stage. We need to watch it and we need to listen to the words they say. A play isn't really written, or drama isn't just written to read. It's written for someone to act out on a big stage. So you need to know which character says what and when does he or she says it. Number 2, I'm still at activity 4. Number 2, they say, follow in your books please as I read. The written words of a play are called a script. Read the notes around the extract. They will tell you more about the features of the script. Now people, maybe one of you will be a famous script writer one day, or writing plays, or writing TV series. If you are one of those lucky people, you will be writing dialogue all the time. You'll be writing a script. In other words, you'll write, this is the character, he says this. This is the next character, she says that. So it's the character's name and the script. What are these people saying? I want to go to page 75. Please follow with me. They mention the features of a script. On page 75 on top, on the right hand side, it says a scene is a part of a play. Now a scene is easy to recognize. It's just like watching a soapy on television again. If a scene is, the opening scene is where these characters are sitting around a table in the kitchen, that is one scene. Then they cut to another scene where they all sit in the garden, for instance. That's another scene. The next is the setting is where the scene happens. Now the setting is the bigger picture. In other words, where does this drama take place? Is it in a big city? Is it out there on a farm somewhere? Is it in America? Is it in a typical township in South Africa? That is your setting, the background against which these characters are set. That's very important because you need to know the setting to understand why the characters are the way they are. For instance, if you have a couple of characters who grew up in a rich family and they all live in spectacular houses and living the good life, they'll say different things. They will act differently than if you have characters living in a shack somewhere, battling to get food on the table every day. So the setting is important. Then the characters, I'm still on page 75 on top, on the right hand side. The characters are the people in the story. A colon appears after a character's name. Now, you need different kinds of characters to make up a good story, or play, or drama, as we call it, because every character contributes to the story. You can't have characters agreeing with each other all the time or being all lovey-dovey all the time. They need to fight. There needs to be conflict. Then you have a good characters and a good play, and you're writing good drama. Still on page 75, they mention props. Now, props are those things that if we put on a play at school, props are the things we carry around and we put on stage. Ne? A chair standing around there would be a prop. A plant or a tree would be a prop. So all these little things that we put on stage to help the actors and support what the actors are saying. Still on page 75 on the right hand side, we are still dealing with the features of a drama script. I wanted to remind you. Stage directions on page 75. Stage directions tell the actors what they are supposed to do. In other words, if you are the actor and you get the script, this is now the script we have here on page 75, you need to study all of these words so that you can say it out loud, either in the soapy on TV or on a stage in the play. The stage directions are what it says in brackets usually. In other words, you can say the words, for instance, I love you so much. Now, if the stage direction says you should say it with honesty and love, you should say, I love you so much. But if the stage directions tell you that you say it in a sarcastic way, you're going to say, yes, I love you so much. Can you see? Big difference because of the stage directions. You need to know what they are before you can be a good actor. It's usually written in italics, in other words, not normal upright letters. Sound effects are important. Those are the things that you take for granted, but they really aren't. It takes a lot of people to make sure you have the correct sound effects. Like, you can't have a character on stage saying, oh, listen to all these trains. They make such a big fuss every day, such a noise. But there's no sound of a train coming. You need to have those sound effects in place before you start finalizing your play. Right, and the last feature of the script that I want to discuss with you is the words of each character, which we call their dialogue. If you are one of the characters in a play or in a TV drama or whatever, you need to know your dialogue very well. You need to know what are you going to say, when is it your turn to say something, and how you are going to say it. And that is pretty much my story for the day. I want you to take a look at the glossary. They say go to page 76 and find out a little bit more about all these different features of the script. Good day to you.